So hey guys, welcome back to a Let's Play I was honestly not really sure if I wanted to make, but then I decided, hey, it will be worth it. And, yeah, so we're playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. And I've played the original Stanley Parable before, so, yeah, to answer this question, have you played the Stanley Parable before? Yes. Please just slide to the computers, very visible, alright. That's good. Oh, what time is it? Oh, frick. Hold up. What time is it? It is, currently 10:14 p.m. Accessibility settings. Okay. Yo. Now hold on 1 second. Video. Full screen mode. Windowed. Wait. How do I set it to windowed? Wait, how do I set this to windowed? Nah, man, how do I set it to windowed? Frick. Full screen, I guess. Guess we're keeping it full screen. Just making sure everything works. Yeah, okay, it works. Let's begin. Oh man, do I
This is
miss
the
this?
story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427.
Yes, he was.
Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a
These
keyboard.
graphics are definitely
Orders came
different.
to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day,
The
something
Fire
very
Nation
peculiar
attacked.
happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting,
Is
or
this
even say
section new?
hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation.
No, I don't think
Something was
so.
very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Yeah.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
Means you're
Stanley decided
screwed,
to go to the
Stanley.
meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
But here's the thing. It's funny, this is like the original Stanley Parable is my only game that I've like 100% gotten all the achievements on Steam. That's like the funny part about this. And I'm probably gonna do it again. Hmm.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left.
You know what, just for fun's sake, let's actually just do the normal ending.
Yet
Yeah.
there was not a single person here either.
Hmm.
Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
I want to get the ending so bad, but at the same time, we can't.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Oh yeah, I know there's like a glitch if you like walk through the door weirdly. I don't remember.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any
Here we
human
go.
life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this, what dark secret was being held from him. What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
Cat.
Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck.
Sure, buddy.
He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Yeah, let's go.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Here we go.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Yes. Here we go.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens.
Man,
What
the scene
horrible
was
secret
crazy.
did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Yeah, I'm definitely noticing a different graphics engine.
Now the monitors jumped to life.
Fired.
Their true nature revealed.
Fired.
Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing. This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had
Well, I got
Stanley
some
really
bad
been under
news for
someone's
you.
control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
I wonder what the answer
No,
could possibly
he
be.
refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it.
Well, it's
His
time
own
to.
life in someone else's control? Never. It was
Haha, little do you know.
Wasn't it? Was it even possible?
Yes.
Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
Yes.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Bye-bye.
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go.
Bro, this looks so good.
To go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door. Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin.
I
The
wonder if
feeling of
there's a secret
liberation,
ending now
the
if you go
immense
back.
possibility of the new
Because I don't think
path
there was in
before
the
him.
original game.
This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Not when we restart the cycle and it comes back. Yeah, we got those achievements. I hope you guys can see those.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room.
Hold on, I'm gonna do something quickly. Hold on a sec. I'm gonna try and fix this whole windowed issue because it's really bad. Hold on. Alright, so I reopened the game again. Something's happening. Hang on, hang on. Before we get started, can I just say something? Thank you for actually setting the clock both times you booted up the game. A lot of people don't take that step seriously. They just leave the clock set at 12 and call it a day. But you're actually taking the time to set the clock, and I appreciate that. That's how I know that you care about this experience. You're paying attention. Don't even have any way of knowing if the times you're setting are correct. Tell you what, I'll make you a deal. Since you've been so cooperative, next time you boot up the game, see this screen, just set the clock to your favorite time. Go ahead, pick whichever time you want, even if it's not correct time, you've earned it. Alright, I'll let you go back to the video game now. Alright, nice. Once again, I don't know how to fix this. Because it's stuck on full screen, and I don't like that. Let me just try and fix it again. Alright, so we're back. Let's set the time to the actual time. Again, I just kind of am interested, honestly, in what this will do. Anything special happen when I do this? Let's find out. 10:34. 10:34 p.m., your favorite time of the day. Or could you simply not resist giving me the correct time again? After all, I know how much you enjoy setting the time correctly. Okay, now I'm curious how accurate 10:34 p.m. is. Let's use another slider to find out. It's pretty accurate. I know I can just say, regardless of the accuracy of the clock, I'm having a great time adjusting these settings. I feel like I'm learning more about you, and you like things to be set. It's good to collect data. Wish we had more sliders, but we've gone through all the sliders I have. Perhaps I can invent some new sliders to gather new data on you. Shouldn't be too hard, yeah. Let me whip a couple new ones up. Should be ready by the next time you boot up the game. Oh my god. Okay, we're gonna be doing that every episode. I'm just saying. Every episode, we're doing that. We're gonna check on this. Alright.
This is the...
Yep, we know the story about a man named Stanley. Oh yeah,
All of
welcome
his
back.
co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Hey, let me get that one achievement real fast, if I even can. Yeah! Pretty sure that's it, right? Anyways.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
But what if we entered the door on the right?
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
And then we leave.
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. And so he detoured through the maintenance section walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
Oh, we're breaking the game, by the way.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief,
Yo.
Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there. Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
No. We're staying right here, buddy.
There was nothing here. No choice to make, no path to follow, just an empty broom closet.
That's
No
the point.
reason to still be here.
Nope, we're staying here.
It was baffling that Stanley was still just sitting in the broom closet. He wasn't even doing anything. At least if there was something to interact with, he'd be justified in some way. As it is, he's literally just standing there doing sweet FA. Are you really still in the broom closet?
Yes.
Standing around doing nothing? Why?
Because I feel like
Please
it.
offer me some explanation here. I'm genuinely confused.
Well, you see, it's something called content. It's something... You see, I have a YouTube channel. It's called content.
Realize there's no choice or anything in here, right? If I'd said Stanley walked past the broom closet, at least you would have had a reason for exploring it to find out. But it didn't even occur to me because literally this closet is of absolutely no significance to the story whatsoever. I never would have thought to mention it.
We'll wait. I'll wait.
Maybe to you this is somehow its own branching path. Maybe when you go talk about this with your friends, you'll say, "Oh, did you get the broom closet ending? The broom closet ending was my favorite." I hope your friends find this concerning.
They will. Trust me, they will.
Stanley was fat and ugly and really, really stupid. He probably only got the job because of a family connection. That's how stupid he is. That or with drug money. Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers.
Bruh.
Well, I've come to a very definite conclusion about what's going on right now. You're dead. You got to this broom closet, explored it a bit, and were just about to leave because there's nothing here when a physical malady of some sort shut down your central nervous system and you collapsed on the keyboard. Well, in a situation like this, the responsible thing is to alert someone nearby so as to ensure that your body is taken care of before it begins to decompose. Hello? Anyone who happens to be nearby? The person at this computer is dead. They have fallen prey to any number
Bruh.
of your countless human physiological vulnerabilities. It's indicative of the long-term sustainability of your species. Please remove their corpse from the area and instruct another human to take their place, making sure they understand basic first-person video game mechanics and filling them in on the history of narrative tropes in video gaming, so that the irony and insightful commentary of this game is not lost on them. All right, when you've done that, just step out into the hallway. Ah, second player. It's good to have you on board. I guarantee. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Stanley did not care and walked downstairs.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss. Admitting he had left his post during work hours, he might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all? None of it made any logical sense.
Oh boy,
As
here we
Stanley
go.
pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. "I'm dreaming!" he yelled. "This is all a dream." Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the
Here we
world.
go. This is where he starts
Then
tripping.
he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back,
Here we go.
the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment, and my wife, and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine.
No, it won't.
I am okay.
Here we go.
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be
Here we
Can
go. He's
anyone
done.
hear my voice? Who
He's
am
gone.
I? Who am I?
He's gone.
And everything went black.
And he's gone.
This is the story of a woman named Mariella. Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, then collapsed
Bruh.
down on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments, she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind.
Oh my
I
god.
know what
This
is
just
real
completely
and
dumps
what
on
isn't.
Stanley, bro.
It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better.
Bruh.
But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day. The very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
You know what?
But But Stanley simply couldn't handle the pressure. What if he had to make a decision? What if a crucial outcome fell under his responsibility? He had never been trained for that. No. This couldn't go anywhere except badly. The thing to do now, Stanley thought to himself, is to wait. Nothing will hurt me. Nothing will break me. In here I can be happy forever. I will be happy.
No, you won't.
Stanley waited. Hours passed, then days. Had years gone by? He no longer had the ability to tell. But the one thing he knew for sure, beyond any doubt, was that if he waited long enough, the answers would come. Eventually, someday, they would arrive. Soon, very soon now, this will end. He will be spoken to.
Nope.
He will be told what to do.
Nope.
Now it's just a little bit closer.
Ah,
Now
this
it's
is
even
funny,
closer.
bro.
Here it comes.
And it just starts to again.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Alright, let's go. Oh my god, you sneaky little... Oh my god. Oh my... Let's go.
Oh, new content? What does that mean, new content?
I wonder what it could mean, narrator. I wonder what it could possibly mean. It means new content. Let's go! Let's go!
Hello, and thank you for playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. As you may know, the Stanley Parable was a video game released in 2013 on home computers.
Yes.
After receiving critical and commercial success, it was expanded upon in 2022 with the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for consoles and home computers. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley Parable, delighting audiences the world over.
Let's go!
Please, step inside and see what thrilling new adventures await in the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Let me in, let's go!
This sounds delightful. I'm very excited to see the thrilling new Ultra Deluxe content.
Watch us get debated.
Okay, so far it's an elevator. Nothing special yet, but I'm sure it's just the beginning of a mesmerizing adventure.
We got debated, didn't we?
Is it broken? What's going on here? Should we be moving somewhere or... Oh, there we go. All right, finally, at long last, it's on to the new content. I've never been more ready. Let's do it.
Oh boy. This is concerning.
I have to say, initial impressions of Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, mostly tedious. It's as
Hey,
if-
Invader Tedious? No way.
Okay, let's see the content. Give me the content, Stanley. All right, let's see. It's the jump circle.
No way. Yeah! No shot! We got jumping. Let's go. Bro, we got that jumping. What?
Is that it? Surely that's not all the new content. There has to be something else, right?
Oh my god, we got you, baby.
Goodness, another elevator. Stanley, I have to say, initial impressions of this game are not positive.
I
It's
gotta
just
agree with you.
elevators and jumping. Is this what passes for exciting new content? If this is new content, then I could just read you the whole dictionary. There's 20 hours of new content right there.
Yeah!
Counter 30 trillion. You could put that on the box.
Yeah!
Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, now with over 1,000 hours of new content. And oh wait, there's more. Very good. Yes. I knew there had to be something else. Let's see it. I'm ready for whatever it is.
We got you
That's it?
baited!
Oh, you've got to be kidding me. You see, Stanley?
Yes?
This is what happens when greedy video game developers with no respect for their fan base
Oh
rush
my
a
god.
cheap expansion to market for no reason other than to make an easy dollar. And don't get me started on the level of craftsmanship that's gone into it. In fact, I'm looking right now at the game's achievements, and it's hard to believe one of them actually says, "Test achievement, please ignore." What quality assurance department signed off on this? I'm infuriated and I'm offended, and I intend to find these people on Twitter and hold them personally accountable.
Yes, cancel them.
It's my fault, Stanley. I built up too much anticipation around the new content, I'm afraid. It could never have lived up to such expectations.
Nah, man, it's good.
If
It's
you're
all
still
good,
with
bro.
me, why don't we just reset the game and we'll try to get back to what the Stanley Parable is really about? No frills, no gimmicks. Just you and me having a great time together like always. What do you say, friend?
Oh my god, are we actually? Oh! New content, you say? Oh my god. No shot. Are we gonna fill up this whole wall with, like, new offices?
Psst. Stanley, come over here. In the vent. I want to show you something.
Oh my god, here's our new content. We found our new content, boys!
Okay, you remember how cheap and unsatisfying the new Ultra Deluxe content turned out to be? Well, it
Yeah.
got me thinking about the past and how much better the Stanley Parable used to be. So I made something special and tucked it away here where the game's developers won't find it. Just our little secret.
Yo.
I call it the Memory Zone. It's where I've been storing all my favorite memories so I can relive the peak experiences of my life whenever I want. Experiences like the launch of the Stanley Parable on PC.
Yeah.
You see, Stanley, doesn't the Memory Zone remind you of how wonderful Stanley Parable was
Yes, it
before it was
does.
sullied with a cheap re-release? Remember back in October of 2013? when the
Oh
game
man,
originally
this
launched?
one.
Back
This
then,
one.
video games had integrity. Back then, it all meant something. Oh, the waste. And over here is where I keep reviews of the Stanley Parable. Like this stunning triumph of games journalism. 10 out of 10 from Destructoid.com.
Hold on, let me, okay, just making sure it's recording.
James Stephanie Sterling writes, and I quote, "Where so many games that aspire to be more than games end up less than any form of art, Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created." Did you hear that, Stanley? Every game ever created. That's how grand and all-encompassing the original Stanley Parable was. It was literally every game ever created. It was Skyrim. It was Persona 3.
Oh
It
my
was
god.
all of them. And now, it's nothing. It's no games at all. It isn't even the Stanley Parable anymore. It's just a husk now. A lifeless husk with an hour of new elevator content. Here's another moving passage, this time from GameSpot.com.
Oh my god.
Stanley Parable is both a richly stimulating commentary on the nature of choice in games and one that offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising, and rewarding choices I've ever been confronted with in a game. 9 out of 10. Don't you get it, Stanley? The game was perfect.
It really
It
was.
didn't need anything else. It didn't need new content. It just needed to be left alone. To spend the rest of time collecting dust in the hallowed hall of beloved video game memories.
Guess I kind of agree with him, honestly.
These were simpler times, Stanley. But I wouldn't give to go back to have it all over again. Wait, hang on. I don't recall this part of the memory zone before. What's this? What's down here? Oh no. Oh God, no. Stanley, it's a collection of reviews from Steam, the online video game distributor. I
Uh-oh.
haven't looked at these in years. I can't even imagine what's been collecting down here. Surely these reviews were glowing as well, weren't they? Honestly, I could not be bothered to play this game to full completion. The narrator is obnoxious and unfunny, with his humor and dialogue proving to be
My
more
God.
irritating than entertaining.
Don't do the narrator like that.
I'm not trying to be funny. I'm trying to make a serious work of art. I suppose I could write up a handful of gags to insert into the Stanley Parable, but the game is already such a densely layered web of profound philosophical insights that I can't even imagine where I'd have the room to stick them. Okay, let's see what this one says. While the idea for the game is good, for someone who prefers non-linear games, this preachiness gets annoying fast. Preachy? Stanley? I'm not preachy, am I?
No, you're not. You're
You
chill.
tell me if I'm preachy. Honestly, you can.
You're
My
not.
goodness. This is actually quite shocking.
You're chill.
Well, to be honest, I had always thought of the game's dialogue as being rather terse to begin with. You can't know how much fluff I cut from the game to get it to feel as light and airy as it... Well, I always thought it did. But maybe it wasn't. Dear, what an awful memory to have to hold on to. These black marks on my otherwise unimpeachable track record. I feel like a failure. Like I let these people down. Perhaps the Stanley Parable isn't quite as sterling as I always remembered.
No, don't think that,
What's
buddy.
this one got to say? You constantly have to stop doing anything so the narrator can catch up with his long-winded explanations of what's happening. I wish there was a skip button. A skip button? Well, yes. Yes, I think we can do that. If I'm truly too preachy, then maybe letting you skip ahead for just a moment, surely it couldn't hurt. Not if it means we can strike these negative reviews from the record. Only positive reviews of the Stanley Parable. That's my motto today, and it's always been my motto. I'd do anything for the customer, Stanley. Yes, a skip button we shall have.
Alright.
And here it is. Go ahead and give it a shot. I'll pop you forward in time so that the second my incessant droning starts to bore you, with just the push of a button, you'll have zipped right past it. It's what the players have been asking for, and I'm very proud to have delivered. No more listening to me rambling on and on and on. No.
I don't want to
The
do it,
Stanley
though.
Parable is a game for the people, and if the people want silence, then by goodness, that's what they're going to get. Well, don't sit around waiting for me to shut up. Go ahead and make me shut up. Here, we'll pretend that I've just begun an interminable...
Fine.
Oh, you're back, you see? You were only frozen in time for a few minutes, but it was plenty of time for me to deliver a long, rambling monologue full of unnecessary verbal flourishes and lengthy ruminations on the nature of choice in video games. Of course, I happen to believe it was perhaps one of my more profound such ruminations. Not that, of course, you need a description of it, but if I had to describe it, I'd say it was perhaps less of a rumination and more of a treatise. Or maybe a manifesto. Look, I'll outline it for you very briefly, and you can tell me what you think. Okay, so my theory is that any choice you've ever made is simply a series of choices made by the person who you are or...
Yep, there we go.
Well there, sport. You really did catch me rambling on a bit, didn't you? But that's the power of the button. The minute I start to go off on a thoughtless display of self-absorption, it's right at your fingertips to go poof, and it's all over. Oh, I can't wait to see what Cookie 9 will say about this, and whether they'll edit the rating of their Steam review, or at least change some of the wording, perhaps. To be honest, I don't even know if one can change their review in the first place. I guess I should become better educated on exactly how Steam works. Perhaps that would have been the smart thing to check on before I went about this whole exercise of making the skip button. Although I have to imagine that after seeing this exciting new technology at work, surely whoever it is runs Steam will instantly run out and implement a new feature to make it possible to edit one's review, merely because of this very situation.
Sure.
I think that's quite likely. Or perhaps they'll simply grant this particular... Okay, welcome back, Stanley. Now, I should say that the amount of time the button has been skipping through is becoming longer and longer. That last one was, well, I want to say maybe 30, 45 minutes?
The door's
It's not
gone.
unendurable by any means, but well, there's really only so much I can ramble on to myself about. I know, it's shocking, isn't it? But at any rate, I do suggest that we not press the button again. I think the skip button has been aptly demonstrated, and we can say goodbye to it and just... Wait, how do we get out of here? Where did the door go? Wasn't there a door that led into this room? I do feel quite certain that there was one here before.
Oh, there
How
was.
else would we have gotten into the room in the first place? I don't think one can enter a room without a door of some sort, or a window or something like that. Do you see a window anywhere? A porthole? A sufficiently large crack in the wall? I'll take any of these. All I want is for us to move on and to please step away from the skip button, to go anywhere other than the skip button. There was a door here before, wasn't there? I swear there was. Where did it go? Can you maybe just ram your way through a wall? Is there any possibility that you could, say, slam your body into the wall until enough damage is done for you to be able to leave? Please, I'll take any option at all. I'm asking you to work with me here. We need a door. We need a door of some kind. I can work with any kind of door as long as it can open and lead from one room to another. I'm going to step away for just a moment, and I'm going to try to find us a door. I don't know how exactly to remove a door and place it in a different wall, but I will find a way, I promise. You just need to not do anything. Don't press the skip button. Please, please, please do not press the skip button. Just wait here for me.
You sure?
And don't press the skip button. Got it? Yes, good.
Better be
I'll
quick.
be right back.
I'm waiting. Nah, man. I'm actually gonna see what happens if I wait. Yo. Can you get the door? Bruh, get the door. I ain't waiting forever, bro. I'm on a let's play. Don't got all day. Alright.
Stanley, please don't push the button again. It's been 12 hours. You've just been frozen there. I don't know why the skips are getting longer, but they're really, truly getting longer.
You said you get the
My
door!
God, there's no way out of the room. Stanley, the door is gone. It's completely gone. I've looked at it from every angle. I've checked every one of those walls 1,000 times. And there's no door, Stanley. There's no door. There's just you and the button, and if you keep pressing it, I have no idea what will happen. I have no idea how long I'll be made to sit here, and more than anything else, I don't know how to stop you from pressing the button again. I can't control anything in this room, Stanley. I can't touch it, and I have to believe, I have to know that sooner or later, no matter how much I plead with you, you're going to press the button again. Why would you? I've been thinking and thinking, and I don't know what I can do to convince you otherwise. Oh, my God. And it's all because of those reviews. Those reviews that I couldn't get out of my head. I just couldn't ignore the negative feedback. Why was it so important for me to fix the problem? Why did Cookie Nine's opinion matter so much to me? I've never even met Cookie Nine. I have no idea who they are. What would it ever really matter? But here I am. I'm fixating on every tiny negative thing that anyone ever says about me. The merest mention of one of my imperfections, and I become as impetulant as a child. Wild and
What?
impulsive. I can't help myself. I can't stop myself from lashing out with a vengeful fury to alter and to change and to bring... Oh, Stanley, you're back. You're back. Oh, my goodness. I have someone to talk to again. Stanley, I think it's been a week. Or 2 weeks. I've been sitting here all that time. Just sitting here. Not a single person to speak with. And you'd think that that's just how it's always been, right? Me talking and you saying nothing. Would you think that it's exactly the same as always? Doesn't that feel like what we've already been doing? Me just talking? But it isn't, Stanley. Oh, hello. It's you. You're here again. Welcome. I have had time to think about you and about us and about everything we've been through. I've had so much time. I stopped keeping track after a year. Have you ever sat down in one place and not moved for one entire year?
No.
But they didn't understand the game was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was meant to speak to the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed their teeth and said, entertain us. It wasn't enough. They had to leave a pathetic little thumbs down review and make all of their pitiful demands. But then, he's talking too much, they said. First, he didn't entertain us, now he won't shut up. It's the
I feel bad,
inconsistency, it's the
honestly.
lack of accountability. It's the unwillingness to examine with an uncompromising heart the words that they are speaking into the world. As though there were no consequences for a lack of cohesion in one's assessment of others. But of course, absolutely anyone can leave a review. So here's what we get. We get these demands that seek everything and are...
Yeah.
The end is never the end, 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 is...
You there, buddy? Hello? Bro, can this thing open already? I wanna go. Okay. How long is this gonna go on for, bruh? Oh, that's wonderful. Um, well, everything's dead. Do we just walk away? Guess we do.
All of his co-workers were gone.
Wow. Okay. That ending was mad confusing. Um, alright. So we just straight up, wow. But, yeah. So that's it for this episode of the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. Well, like, of course, this is mad confusing. I don't know what just happened during that whole ending, but, hey, whatever. So, yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye. I feel bad, bro. Poor narrator got murdered by the skip button.